News on and day.
This is my state, this is my team. You know what that means. This is for the black and blue that I bleed. This is for the chance to bring home that ring. But everybody gonna doubt this. So far there ain't been another way around it. We bring heat to the game each week. They just say we ain't got what it takes, we ain't bout it. Well, y'all can just keep saying that we ain't gon' make it, but at the end of the day this'll be the Panthers nation. You know this ain't a game to us major players at every angle that you can think of. That's why you hate us. Get out the way of greatness. You can look at our faces and see the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to create this. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but you can save it. Cause even on the darkest of days, you know we're always gonna find a way to tell them what we gon' do, we gotta
Yo, what's poppin', Dave? What's good? Can everybody hear me? Can I get a mic check? Mic check. What's poppin'? Can everybody hear me? What's good? Dave, what's poppin'?
What's going on, man? How was your weekend?
Everything good on these parts. Just straight up into the combine every single day. Every single day I watch took a lot of combine footage. Okay? A lot of combine footage.
Mad combinations.
Mad combine, yo. So what's good? Can we get a mic check? Can everybody I'm not seeing anything in the chat.
Everybody's saying it's sounding good.
All right. For some reason I can't see. My chat is either done behind or I don't know what's going on with my chat, but I can't see jack squat in the chat. All right. So I had to pull the chat back up. But anyway, all good. All good. Let me work on that. But Dave, what'd you do this weekend? How was your weekend, bro?
We got some weather this weekend, man.
Oh yeah, that's fun. That's crazy, man. Weather is crazy.
We had weather on Saturday, and we got some more weather today. So basically, you know, one of my friends took my management position, so we went out and celebrated Friday, and then Friday night it started snowing. Luckily, it wasn't that bad, but Mother Nature brought the pain last night.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody.
I had 8 inches.
Yeah, that's
in
crazy.
My front yard.
Pause, man. Pause.
Oh yeah, pause. Yeah, no homo.
But prayers for everybody in Alabama. I don't know if we got any folks in Alabama, but hope everybody's okay out there. I know it was some couple tornadoes in that system that y'all got. I think it was the same system that brought tornadoes and stuff over there to Alabama. So prayers to everybody. I don't know if we got any listeners out there, but hopefully everybody's safe and whatnot. All right. So Dave, it's a lot of stuff going on with the combine. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure my sound don't get. There we go. All right. So it's a lot of stuff going on with the combine. It's a lot to go over. I'm gonna get straight to it. I don't know if we're gonna get a chance to get to the post combine mock draft just because there's so much to do. There's so much to go over. So many prospects. A lot of standouts. A lot of guys that didn't quite live up. And we're gonna try to hit them all. Okay. We're gonna try to hit them all. All right. So that being said, let's jump into the combine. Dave, before the combine happened, we had our coach Ron Rivera take the podium. We did not see Marty Hurney speak for some reason. Not sure why that didn't happen. But we didn't get a chance to see Marty Hurney. I was pretty interested to see what he had to say, but we didn't get a chance to see what he had to say. But we did. Only thing we got to hear was Ron Rivera speak. All right. So a couple things that Ron Rivera, just gonna go over a couple things that he said in reference to the combine and other things going on with the organization at the moment. One thing, Dave, just off the rip, Dave didn't listen to us, so we going off the cuff. We getting some candid responses from Dave. All right, candid responses from Dave. I really want to know how you feel about this first comment that he said, or one of the first things I'm going to take from it. Dave, he anticipates Matt Khalil being a part of the team's plan this season. How do you feel about that, my brother? He anticipates Matt Khalil being a part of the team's plans this season. Is that just coach speak? Is that coach from the bench? That's funny. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yo. On the bench?
Yeah. That's funny. I mean, it's a lot of money, bro. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of dead money that could go into it. But he anticipates Matt Khalil being a part of the team's plans, which is wild. I wasn't cool with that, Dave. I wasn't cool with that. At all.
If it's from the bench and it's for depth, I'm cool with it.
Fam, that's a lot of money on the depth for a depth person.
Now, I agree. I'm just. It has to be from the bench. We cannot allow this to happen.
Okay, I mean, I see what y'all saying. A lot of people saying coach speak. Coach speak.
It could be coach speak. That's plausible.
It could be coach speak. It could be 100% coach speak. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're gonna do, but he needs to go. Like, I feel like you might as well just cut your losses at this point. It's gonna be a dead money hit. I just get rid of him, man. I don't see what the point of holding him around. He's not. They keep saying he's healthy, then he's not healthy. Like, he was good, then he wasn't good. I'm tired of it. All right, I'm tired of it. Okay, let's just get rid of him and call it a day. But yeah, I agree with what Slim has to say. I mean, we've seen him say this before, and a couple days later, dudes get that Kai.
I don't think he's getting cut though. That's asking too much.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I like to see him cut personally. I'd like to see him cut. But anyway, I just found it really interesting the way he answered that question. I think he needs to go. Let's just cut him and get out of here. But that's enough on Matt Khalil. We don't need to be talking too much about him. There's a lot to get to. The quarterback, Dave. Coach Rivera said if the Panthers do anything for QB depth, it's going to be in the draft as opposed to free agency. So no Colin Kaepernick. No free agent quarterback, according to Ron Rivera, which is okay. As long as Cam Newton is healthy, which is the biggest thing, and they appear to be okay with Cam Newton's recovery. Everything is progressing. They seem the cap doesn't really lend favorably to us bringing in a quarterback, and maybe that's kind of why we're put in this position. Especially we haven't moved anything around at the moment. It's just kind of we've cut one person, and that's pretty much it. There's really nothing else going on with as far as the cap. So they're just kind of sitting back. Maybe a couple more things could go in before next Monday when free agency starts, or next Sunday actually. Maybe we could see a couple more moves, but right now we ain't really making no moves, Dave.
I'm not shocked by that. I'm not shocked by that at all. I think Colin Kaepernick coming here was a fantasy because we're going to have to pay him more than what we're willing to pay him. He's not going to be cheap.
No, I don't think he's gonna. I don't know. I don't know what Kaepernick's gonna do. But Kaepernick or no Kaepernick, it seems to be that they're cool with settling on the draft if they're gonna do anything at all. So it's just really interesting, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But next thing up, we'll move on. Next thing up, they're on a mission to protect the quarterback, Dave, and put weapons around him. That seems pretty consistent. Last year they actually did it. They got some receiver help in DJ Moore, and I don't think we made any movements to really protect our quarterback per se last year. But I hope to see with the draft this draft and the upcoming talent coming in this draft, there's multiple opportunities to come out and get some young talent. What do you think about this, Dave?
You're talking about the draft, right?
I'm talking about they're saying they're on a mission to protect the quarterback.
Yes,
I don't know how
they
they're
are.
gonna do it.
This might be a smokescreen. Because you can't tell me that you're trying to protect Cam and then at the same time decide that you're going to keep Matt Khalil.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it, Dave.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot. There's no way you can come up here and tell me that you trying to protect Cam, but you got Speed Bump up there acting a fool. I can't. So
that's a good point. I think there's still time.
I have my personal opinion on how this draft is going to be.
How do you think the draft's going to be, Dave? Talk about it.
Yo, you would be lucky if we draft one offensive person in the entire draft.
Wow, one offense. I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
I'm telling you, dude.
But
like the way people are talking about how deep the defense is on the defensive side of the ball, I think we're all going to eat. We're going to try to fix a lot of the problems and try to fix the speed problem.
Yeah, I agree there. I think it all can be done.
Think about think about who we let go, or who we decided we're not going to re-sign. A lot of the guys that we decided that we're not going to re-sign are on the defensive side of the ball, and they're a little bit up on the age game. Like Thomas Davis, he's not coming back. Panthers going a different direction. Mike Adams, he's not coming back. Panthers going a different direction. They let go Captain Munley. He's a little bit long in the tooth as well. We're letting go a lot of guys. Like, I know that Panther Nation is going to panic if we draft a linebacker in the first round, but let me tell you something. I wouldn't be stunned if it happened.
Yeah, I'm not stunned either. I think Hurney clearly tries to stick with that BPA, and I think he's going to let it come to him. But I do think we're going to address the offensive line in the draft. We have to. It's going on.
We'll take one. We'll take one guy, but the one guy will probably be in the offensive line.
I think we take
everything else is going to be defense.
I think we take a couple. I do think the majority of the players that we draft will be defensive, but I do think we take some offensive line, a couple offensive linemen personally. But we'll move on. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I don't want to get into who we're going to draft yet. I just want to stick to what Rivera's talking about. So moving on, he talked about a couple more things. He talked about he was excited about Eric Reid bringing stability to three of the defensive starting spots. Excited about Eric Reid bringing stability to 3 of the starting DB spots. How do you read that, and who are the 3 starting? Where do you think the 3 starting DB spots are? Do you think? I'll go to what I think he's saying. I just kind of think it's going to be shuffled a little bit. But what I think he's saying, Eric Reid is one of the starting safeties. I think they still haven't quite figured out where he's going to be, whether strong or free. But he's one of the starting safeties. And then you got Bradbury is one of the starting corners, and you got Dante Jackson, one of the starting corners. Don't know whether it's nickel or outside. What do you think they do with Dante? I think Gaulden is the odd man out here. What do you think?
He might be, man. But if they draft a safety, he is. We already know that, right?
Yeah, but I just think they're going to shuffle. I don't know who's. Obviously, that leaves a gap at one. If you're going to move Dante inside, that's one outside corner you got to get from somewhere, because I don't think that cornerback is on the roster. And then you got to pick up another safety, which they talked about that as well. They want to pick up another. He said they want to look at a guy to pair with Eric Reid as well. So I think that clearly puts us into drafting a safety, and I think that's going to happen. Me personally, I think that's going to happen in the second round. Personally, that's just me. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. How that all falls. But yeah, what do you think about that, Dave? My bad.
If we're gonna take a safety in the second round, man, that tells me in the first 2 rounds we're going defense.
I think the first round really is BP. I think he's gonna go. I think there's a lot of ways that first round, that 16 is gonna go. We'll see how it goes, man. I don't think we're set in on position in the first round. I think it's just gonna come.
I don't think we are either, but I think the way that the draft is going to fall, I don't think there's no other way but going defense, really. Just my opinion. Considering what the 15 teams in front of us need, I think defense is probably going to be it.
We will see, Dave. We will see. And then next up, he said, we'll move on. Next up, he said finding a running back to take some of the load off Christian. They want to look to find someone with similar skill set as CMC, but McCaffrey has proved that he can do everything he's asked to do. So what do you think about that, Dave? Another running back, similar skill set to Christian McCaffrey. Is that smoke screen? Or you think they're going to bring in a power back?
Nah, I think they're going to try to get somebody that's like McCaffrey. I really do.
You think it's going to come in free agency or the draft?
I think we'll probably grab somebody in free agency. Somebody cheap.
Well, yeah, I mean, the draft is cheap. That's as cheap as you're going to get.
It's cheap, but you can get cheaper. Like, if you're trying to get, because I know they've been talking about the running backs during the combine. It looks like they don't think there's any first-round running backs in this draft. So, I think they'll probably go with the free agency route for this time. Something like with somebody with like a 1 or 2 year deal type of deal.
I don't know. Yeah,
or to use Curtis Samuel.
We got Hood. Yeah, we got Hood. And then that's pretty much it after him. I think we can look to the draft. I think there's some options late. I think there's a couple good options late that I like personally that kind of fit his skill, not necessarily his skill set, but can do what McCaffrey can do, but just not to the level that he can do it. But me personally, I'd like to see a power back. We don't have that. We have it in Hood, but he's coming off a knee injury, so you don't know how that's going to be, and he could just be a practice body with an opportunity to make the roster. So you don't know how that goes. But that I don't know. But Dave, what do you think about this Greg?
I want to answer a quick question.
Go ahead.
First Panther asks, would I take DK Metcalf if he was there? Absolutely, I would, but he's not going to be there. You don't have to worry about that. He's going top 5. There's not a doubt in my mind that he's going top 5.
I don't know about that, but
he's going.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think he's going top 5. Personally,
somebody's going to trade up for him, and he's going to go.
I think he's going top 10 for sure. 100% going top 10. But we'll talk about that later. All right, what do you think about this Greg Olsen? He and then the whole Monday Night Job opening up, and Jason Witten coming out of retirement, freeing up that position, and then. You can't bring up Jason Witten without bringing up what Steve Smith said. Yeah, that's true. What did Steve Smith say, Dave?
Steve Smith said they asked Steve Smith if he's going to come out of retirement, and his response was to the effect of, "I'm good at this TV thing, so I'm just going to stay right here."
That's pretty fun. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Saying Witten was trash at
he was terrible. He was not good.
Yeah, that's funny. But what do you think about him coming? They're saying that Greg Olsen told Rivera he's going to play through his contract, which goes through 2020, so it goes through next year. So you got this season and I think the next season.
Before or after Witten said he's coming back to the league?
I think that was the day. I think that was the day of, if not the day, or the day after, the day before. One of them. It was very close.
If we end up, I keep saying we're only going to draft one defensive guy, but if we end up taking one offensive guy, but if we end up taking a tight end early, that might be bye-bye for Greg. Because especially if Greg gets the Monday Night Football job. Like, if they offer him the Monday Night Football job, he's going to take it. He'll be foolish not to.
Yeah, because that only comes around every so often. So
yeah, he'll be foolish not to. I'm pretty sure he'll do better than Jason Witten.
It's open. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. Very, very interesting. Got to follow that story. But Dave, so we got a new segment. Shout out to the chat cats. That they told me that we came up with this in the group me, and they told me to name it On the Prowl. This is gonna be tracking prospect visits and interactions with the prospects. So we calling it On the Prowl, right? So the Panthers on the prowl. We interviewing prospects. We taking a look at guys. So I just want to take a look at who we met with at the combine. I don't have the other visits. Thanks, Noli. This one is for you. Yeah, shout out to Noli. He came up with this. But
Panther out there, I see you.
Yeah. But But yeah, so I just have the combine visits up. I've been working on this PowerPoint all day, so there may be some mistakes in here, maybe some late additions that I missed. But this is just gonna be for the combine. We have spoke to other guys. This is just who we talked to at the combine this weekend. I'll update the other visits on the next podcast, but we'll the next episode. We'll get to those later. But I just want to reiterate Marty Hurney 2.0. This is what happened last year at the draft, or as far as visits. So I just want to kind of make some correlation to what we maybe do, and you can kind of draw the lines together as these visits happen and say, all right, this is what we did last year. This is what could happen this year. Kind of go through the same thing and see if we can kind of guess who the pick is before it happens, if that makes sense. All right. So DJ Moore last year, we saw him at the combine, we saw him at the pro day, and we brought him in for a private visit. That's a lot of interactions. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen again for the first round pick. We're just kind of following the tea leaves here. We're following the tea leaves is what we're doing. And I just want to be clear, this is Marty Hurney 2.0. I don't have the data for Marty Hurney 1.0. I don't think they weren't doing this as
it's
much.
Not that important anyway.
Yeah. So I don't want to get too far on what the 1.0 did. This is just 2.0. All right. So this is what happened last year. All right. So we're just kind of, hey, round by round, you can expect the second round to have a private visit. You want to see those private visits. They're available. You can this is what I did last year. This is what I did last year when I predicted Dante Jackson pick. I said, all right, he came in for a visit. He's probably going to be the guy if he's available, all right? So I did predict the Dante Jackson pick last year just to toot my own horn. And just, there we go, all right? So just wanted to put that out there, and we'll track this as we go along. So I apologize. This is so small. I thought we were going to have more visits, and it didn't happen, and I have to add a couple more. So this is who we visited this weekend, all right? So Montez Sweat is up there. We had Montez Sweat in. We had Jachai Polite. We had Ben Banagu, Christian Wilkins, Dalton Reisner, Greg Little, Mitch Hyatt, Debo Samuel, Gardner Minshew, Will Greer, and we also met with Tyree Jackson and Lonnie Johnson are on there as well. That I didn't get to add, but we met with them as well. So I just want to put that out there. Jakai, okay, thank you. We'll get the pronunciations right one day. All right. I don't know if we met with CJG. I didn't see that. A lot of guys came in, and I couldn't quite follow because it wasn't. I used Walter Football for the visits, and they weren't updating like throughout I had to go to Twitter. So some of these were just Twitter. Oh yes, you're right. My bad. CJG did meet with all 32 teams. That's correct. So we did meet with CJG. That's correct. Thank you guys. I didn't see Bradbury. I could be wrong. Y'all let me know. If I miss somebody, I'll get them added. Like I said, I was trying to follow these on Twitter, and I couldn't get everybody in as I was working on this damn PowerPoint all day, literally, okay? So, Senior Bowl. Thank you, Rex. We did meet with Bradbury at the scene. And I don't have those up here. This is just combine visits, okay? So we met with a couple other people prior, and this is just combine visits, all right? So that's the list. I apologize. Could have made it a little bit bigger. I didn't been doing this all day, so cut me some slack. All right. So moving on. All right, moving on. Let's jump into stock up, stock down, and we're gonna get right to it, Dave. I apologize. Some portion of this is gonna be a little small. Y'all just gotta bear with me. All right. I had to throw this together last minute. There was a lot going on, and not a lot of time to do it. All right. So let's move on.
Wait, before we move on, you know what the one thing that I've noticed about the list of people that you mentioned that you have on your slide?
Mm-hmm.
There's not a cornerback in sight.
Cornerback? No. Yeah, Lonnie Johnson is a cornerback that we did meet with. He's not on there. He's not on there. But we did
Right.
we did meet with Lonnie, and then we met with another quarterback that's not up here. So we met with two quarterbacks and a cornerback that are not on this.
So we only met with one corner, one wide receiver.
But Dave, just to kind of throw you off a little bit, we have met with a lot of corners in other, like the Senior Bowl and East-West game. We have met with some corners just to kind of.
Nah, I get it. It's just for the first round pick. I mean, it's.
And listen, there may be some more things or some more people that pop up that we don't know about just yet. So just hang tight. Hang tight with those, and I'll update these if people get added. Because I had to follow Twitter, bruh. Twitter was the source of information, and the updates didn't visit, especially for the DBs. The DBs we weren't getting those as maybe we just didn't meet with many, but it wasn't updating as quickly as the other visits were. So all right, so let's move on. Let's move on to stock up, stock down. All right, so boy, did Gary Bradbury have himself a day. He had himself a day. I was watching that, man, and he was a baller, okay? He was a baller. And Dave, I got a very interesting stat for Gary Bradbury. Fam, he had 0 sacks given up on close to 500 dropbacks, which is crazy. This stat came from Twitter, so it could be fake news, but I just found it on Twitter. 500 dropbacks, no sacks. And he looks good on film, too. I did a film review with him. He looks very good. Man, if he's sitting there at 16, as he was doing his drills, they kept saying Ryan Khalil, and they kept saying this is a guy that you can start. You can put him in day one, and he'll be a starter for 10 plus years. That's what they kept saying about him. So he's a baller. And before I get into this, my bad, Dave. Before I get into this, I gotta send a huge shout out to Jared. My G Jared helped me with this. We literally combined all of the draft combine data into a spreadsheet, and I did some Excel magic to kind of correlate the red flags and the outstanding times and numbers. So shout out to Jared. He really, like, we were in there together, like inputting stats like manually for every prospect. So shout out to Jared on that. It's real fun kind of seeing these numbers come together. And I owe you something big for that. All right, pause. All right, so his bench press numbers, Gary Bradbury's bench press numbers were crazy. His 20-yard shuffle numbers were crazy. He had himself a day, bro. He had himself a day, okay? He had himself a day.
He's a local kid, too.
He's a local NC State kid. If he's there at 16, I wouldn't be mad, all right? So I got to go through these kind of quick. I'm trying to give everybody a respect, but it's a lot. I got two up and 2 down for each position. I'm going to try to get through these. I'm trying to give people their respect. All right? So I had to rush through these pretty quick, so if I miss some, I apologize. I spelled somebody's name wrong. Listen. Charge to the game. I had to get through this real quick, all right? So, stock down. Greg Little. Boy, was he looking super lethargic. Super lethargic out there. Like, this kid was probably top 3 tackles before the combine, and it didn't look good. It did not look good for Greg Little. He didn't participate in the bench press. Didn't participate in 3-cone. Had a nice broad jump there, as you can see. Performed outstanding there, but he did not look good. He did not look good, Dave. Did you happen to see Greg Little?
I did not. I mean, I watched a couple things from the 40. I watched some 40 times. I watched a couple stats, and I was looking at some videos that showed highlights of the high players, and he wasn't on that list. Folks were not impressed with him.
Nah, he did not look good.
One mention of him not being so hot.
Nah, he did not look good. I think he's definitely moving out of the first round. I think keep in mind with these combine numbers and figures, like, people have the opportunity to fix this at the pro day. So at their respective pro days. So just in case somebody has a bad combine, does not mean it's the end of the world. Again, we saw Orlando Brown last year completely bomb, and he did not have Greg Little was nowhere near on that level, okay? It was not that bad of a day as Orlando Brown. So there's life at the end of the tunnel, just in case you have a bad day, okay? But I see him in round 2, and he could fall, because he did not look that great, okay? Moving on, my guy. Hey, listen, I owe a huge shout out to all the people that shouted out Andre Dillard, and I was slacking, okay? I was like, man, Andre Dillard, he ain't the top, man. He all right, but he cool. I didn't put no respect on Andre Dillard's name, and this dude looks super good. Okay, like to me, I think Jonah had himself a solid day as well. Jonah Williams looked okay too. He looked good, but Andre Dillard was the cream of the crop as far as tackles go. He looked great. Okay, he ran that. What was it? 40 time 4.96 He looked good, and let me tell you something. His left tackle kick slide was a thing of beauty. If you ever get a chance to go check out his kick slide drill on the left tackle, boy, it looked pretty. It looked pretty, man. I was damn near drooling, man. If he's there at 16, him and Bradbury, if they're there at 16, I would not be upset. Again, I know people are not happy with the offensive line picks. They're not sexy picks. But listen, these guys are good. He's good. Dillard is good. Okay, he's good. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody took him before 16, but he's that good, okay? He had himself a hell of a day. You see anything about Dillard you like, Dave?
That 4 20-yard shuffle is vicious.
Oh,
man.
He's good, okay? He's good, okay? Yeah, and again, shout out to Reil. I did his film session, and his film session was super boring. That's because my man wasn't giving up no love. I mean, he looked really good, and I have a sneaking suspicion. This is just me, sneaking suspicion. This rumor alert. This is all kind of propaganda and fake news. But I have a feeling we interviewed their quarterback, because we met with their quarterback, Washington State's quarterback. I have a feeling we met with their quarterback to get the news on Dillard, okay? That was just a smoke screen. Yeah. I think we tried to get the scoop on Dillard. I think we're going to bring Dillard in for some private visits, and I'm telling you, I think he's going to be the guy, okay? I think he's going to be nice. All right? So, moving on. Cody Ford. I had Cody Ford to stock down, man. Y'all hyped. This is the dude y'all hyped up. I think y'all hyped him up, and y'all got in my mentions, got in my comments. Do Cody Ford. Do one on Cody Ford. I did a video on Cody Ford. I wasn't quite sold, okay? Even before the combine, I wasn't quite sold. Then I saw his measurements come in. Pause. He came in at 6'3", 320 pounds. And then his shuffle, his 20-yard shuffle was slow. To me, he screamed guard. Okay? He looks like a guard. Everybody talked about moving Jonah Williams into guard. Nah, Cody Ford is a guard, okay? He looks like a guard. Okay? He is epitome of a guard. He didn't move that good. He had some good film. I'm not going to lie. His film is good. He has some good film. But he did not move that well. And then he had a quote-unquote pec issue to where he only put up 19 reps on the bench. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm just going to leave it at that. He might have gotten hurt. He might have gotten hurt. And we'll have to see at the combine. I mean, at his pro day. I'm sure he will improve those numbers. But I just think he's a guard. And to me, that pushes his draft stock down. Not to say he won't be a good guard. I'm not saying that. But I'm measuring him as a left tackle. Or a right tackle, excuse me. And if you're not there and you slide in the guard, that just affects your draft position. That's all I got to say about that. That's just what I'm saying. It's not bad. Moving the guard is not a bad thing. It's just it affects your draft position when you're projected as a guard versus a tackle. That's all. All right. So moving on. To the running backs, Dave. to the running backs. Justice Hill. This
I heard
man.
this position didn't impress at all. I don't really get to
What?
see running backs like that, but I heard they didn't really impress at all.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, the guys that shine. The guys that didn't. Okay, let's just put it that way. I think that's the best way to put it. All right. My man Justice Hill had himself a hell of a day. I mean, his 40, 4.4. He had a 40-inch vertical, and he had a 130-inch broad jump. All crazy numbers, okay? All crazy numbers. The only thing about him is he only came in at 198 pounds. That's a bit small for a running back. I think he's one of those tweener dudes.
Yeah.
I haven't watched this film, okay? I haven't watched this film. I need to get to it. I haven't got this film, so I can't really expound on whether it's good or not. But interesting stat, Dave. Interesting stat with Justice Hill. Justice Hill. He joined Saquon Barkley as the only running back to set a record 4.40 in a 4-yard dash and a 40-inch vertical at the combine. So a 4.40 and a 40-inch vertical. Only him and Saquon to do it since 2003. So he's in rare air, literally with that vertical. Okay. All right. So I'm just putting it together. Hey, don't shoot the messenger, man. Y'all don't shoot the messenger. I'm just putting stats out there. Okay. Just putting stats out there. All right. So moving on. You got anything on Justice? You know anything about it? I didn't know nothing about this kid until yesterday, or until the running back. So I can't really expound on it. Can't get to it.
We'll do a film study on him, see what type of back he is.
Got to do the film study for sure.
But based on his weight, he's probably, like you said, he's probably like a tweener, some quick.
In the words of the great Slim J, he's a flanker. Okay, he's gonna be a flanker. All right. Moving on. Elijah Holyfield. Boy, was he trash. Okay.
I heard about how trash he was.
Boy, was he trash. Hot garbage. Okay. He had a 40 time of 4.7. Okay. 4.7. He had a 29-inch vertical. Not good. No explosion. It was not good. Okay. Not good. However, his film is pretty solid. Okay. His film is good. He's a power back. And he's got some short area burst. He's got some good cutting ability. I watched Elijah. He's got some good cutting ability. It's a power back, okay? He can win in other ways than speed. I'm glass half empty, Dave. Glass half empty. That's all I'm saying. He had a bad combine.
It's Holyfield's son. This is Evander's son.
That's Evander Holyfield's son, yes. But obviously that didn't help him out at the combine, Dave. He had to go out and work.
And the other thing is, too, he plays for Georgia, so you know he got a good line behind him.
That's true. But I will put money on this. Okay, I'll put good money up that he gets his 40 down to about a 4.6 at the pro day, and then y'all gonna be all right. He good now. I guarantee you he'll get it down to about a 4.6. He's gonna improve that 40.
He's got to.
He's gonna improve
4.78 if I read that properly.
4.78, yeah, 4.78.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't pretty, Dave. It wasn't pretty. Okay. He is undrafted right now, and somebody's gonna take him, and he's gonna be solid. He's gonna be solid. I think he's gonna be solid because he got a power game. Moving on. I'm not gonna spend too much time here. Okay. Travis Homer. Listen, I know about this kid. Miami, Florida State. Y'all know the correlation. All right. I've seen this kid. He's nice, but his combine was vicious. Okay. Like I said, the ones that performed. The ones that didn't. 4.40, 4.4. 4.48, 39-inch vertical, 130-inch broad jump, crazy. Okay, when you watch him on film, he doesn't do one thing special, but there's a lot of he does good enough across the board, if that makes sense, and he can fix the areas where he's bad. So I like the kid Homer, I do. A bit light. I like to see him put on a little bit more weight for me, but I do like the kid. Another guy you can get late in a draft. I think the running back talent can be found late. There's no need for us to run up and jump, try to get somebody. I just think, you can be patient with the running backs and get you one late. All right. You got anything else on Homer?
They're gonna have a field day with him when he's on somebody's team with that last name.
Yeah. He had a good day.
Yeah, he had a really good day.
All right. So stock down. I'm rolling with Benny Snell. I mean, listen, don't jump on me on this, okay? Listen, I expected a little bit more from Benny, okay? I thought he was gonna be a little bit faster than what he was. He ran a 4.6. It's not bad. I'm only comparing him to what people thought he was gonna be, or comparing him to his draft position. I think a lot of people had him like in the third. And listen, I didn't see it. He has really good tape though. I'm not gonna front. He has good tape. He does. But my problem is with that vertical. The explosion ain't there for me. Like, I feel like the holes are gonna close up before he gets there, and I don't think he's quick enough, or I don't think he's explosive enough to get through the holes. Maybe he can eat a little bit of contact, but I don't know. I looked at him.
Pretty good broad jump though.
Yeah, he had decent broad jump. It's decent. I expected a little bit more from him. I expected a little bit more, personally. But just I don't know. That's just my opinion. My opinion on Benny. I had a little bit higher expectations for him. I thought he was gonna perform a little bit better, but he didn't. So I'm only holding him to himself. That's why he gets a stock down. Okay. All right. Anything else on him?
Nah, I'm good on Benny. Let's move on to the next position.
Moving on, Dave. The wide receivers. Okay. The wide receivers.
I know who stock up.
Listen, I know everybody wants to get to DK. Okay. Everybody wants to get to DK, which is fine. But boy, did Emanuel Hall have himself a day. Like, we have to put some respect on Emanuel Hall's name, okay? His release game is vicious, okay? I went and looked at this dude's film. I was so excited, Dave. I went and looked at this dude's film, and I didn't even do a film session because I was like, I got to see this. I got to see this on film. His release is a monster, okay? His release is a beast. His release is a problem, okay? And listen, he can win outside, and he got a vicious outside jab, and he can beat people inside on the slant. He can beat you vertically, and all that is in his numbers, B. All that is in his numbers, okay? So put some respect on Emanuel Hall's name. He's 6'1", 201 pounds. He's good. And listen, he did all that. He did all this. He didn't get to do 3-cone and 20-yard shuffle because he actually had a sports hernia. So he might have to get surgery on a sports hernia. So he's gonna be nice. Keep an eye on Emanuel Hall, man. I like this kid, and I don't think even with this combine performance, I don't think people are gonna go like extremely high on him. So I think you can get him. I think you can get him for decent value. All right. But shout out to Emanuel Hall because a lot of people, he actually had a better vertical and a better broad jump than DK. So a lot of people hyping up DK. The only thing he didn't perform better in, I think, was the bench press and the 40. Everything else was better. All right. That being said, let's move on.
Yep.
LJ Humphrey, trash. Okay, he did not have a good day. Fam, he should have stayed in school another year along with his boy. I forgot the other dude from Texas' name, but he should have stayed. He should have stayed in school another year. He ran a 4.7. Ain't gonna do it. I thought he was much faster. The way they utilized him, he played a lot of slot in college. I actually did a film session on him, but the audio was jacked up. And the way they used him, he returned kicks. I don't think he's there. Okay, I don't think he's there. He's not ready yet. LJ's not there yet. Okay, so let's just move on to what everybody wants to see. DK, there it is.
Bruh.
I mean, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Well, I mean, go ahead, Dave. You so high on my man DK.
Dude, he's 6'3", he's 228, and he's running 4.340s.
Hey, man, listen. This dude got less body fat than 2% milk, fam. That's crazy.
Did you see that picture when they showed him out in the gym?
I've been saw that. I saw it a long time ago. Man, I've been on Metcalf. I've been saying Metcalf was the best receiver in this draft. I've been said a long time ago when I did the film session. It's clear that he's the best receiver. And he played with a terrible quarterback. That's the bad part. He's played with a terrible quarterback. He got open a lot, didn't get in the ball. So his numbers could have been vicious in college, a lot better. had he played with a better quarterback.
He's gonna fit right at home for one of these teams in the top 5.
Maybe. I don't think he goes top 5. I think maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes top 5. But this dude's a freak. But Kevin White was also a freak. I'll just leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that with DK. Kevin White
did he have injury problems in college?
Who? Kevin White?
No, Metcalf.
Yeah, he had a bad neck injury.
Okay.
I think it was a neck injury. I believe, somebody correct me on that, but he did have an injury issue that didn't allow him to finish the season last year. But yeah, I'm just point out Kevin White had similar numbers. All right, Kevin White, Chicago Bears, the trash kid. Yeah, him. All right, so just point it out. All right, I'm not a hater. Just
is he still in the league?
Yeah, he's still in the league. I think he's still with the Bears. Should still be on a rookie deal, right?
Has it been? No, it's been longer than that, hasn't it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't do the research. But all right, yeah, I think neck and ankle is what they're saying. So
okay.
I don't know. All right, moving on.
Somebody said KB was a freak, and they were like, nope, he was fat and slow.
Fat and slow. It's funny. Shout out. Yeah.
Kelvin's stomach was not like that.
All right, so moving on. Ridley. And then I put him there. I expected a little bit more from Riley. I think his 40 time was slower than I thought. He ran a 4.5. His vert was a 30, which is a red flag for a receiver. I expected to see him perform much better than this. And listen, Dave, I got an interesting stat. You ready for this? Interesting stat with Ridley. There has never been a wide receiver drafted in the top 75 picks who weighed less than 200 pounds and ran a 4.5 or 4.59 or worse.
Well, you want me to read? 4.58, so he's in the clear.
Well, they may have maybe they. I mean, it's close, Dave. That's close.
Oh no, he's there. I get it.
It's close. That's all I'm saying. I really like Ridley's route running ability, though. I like his route running ability.
Like his brother.
I think it's there. I just hope he never raced his brother in his life, okay? Because he lost every time. He lost to his brother every race they ever ran. I just hope they didn't go to bat too many times. All right, no 1-on-1. Okay. All right.
His brother ran a 4.4, didn't he?
I think he was in the 4.4s, and clearly he's about a couple milliseconds behind his brother. All right, moving on to tight ends. I gotta speed this up a little bit. Okay. Noah Fant, he had himself a day. Everybody talks about the other tight end, Hawkinson. Yeah, everybody talks about him, right? But Noah Fant had himself a day. Okay, he had himself a day with these drills. He's got he had a quick comparison. Somebody compared him very, very favorably to George Kittle. Sorry, this is George Kittle's number: 6'4", 247, and ran a 4.5 240 in the 96th percentile with weight adjusted. Okay, Noah Fant 6'5", 243, 4.51. Very, very, very simmerable. Simmerable. I made up a word, man.
Doesn't Iowa have two tight ends?
Similar, excuse me. Yeah, the two. Yeah, he's one of them. He's
him and Hawkinson, right?
Hawkinson, yeah. He's the second one.
Yo, that's wild, man.
Yeah. They had the top tight ends. Both of them.
Patriots going to draft one of these guys, man. Prep for life after Gronk.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Good fit. But yeah, they're both good. They're both good. Okay. All right, moving on. I thought Cade Smith. I think he was like my third or fourth in my rankings. He didn't perform very well according to his rankings. I don't have much to expound on it. I expected a little bit more from Caden. He came in with the measure of 6'5", 255. Thought he had good size, but his 40, 4.92 was a bit slow for me. it's not red flaggish or anything, but I just thought he came in a bit slow.
He's probably gonna be more of a blocker.
Yeah, I think so. Coming from Stanford, absolutely gonna be a blocker. That's what they do. All right, don't want to spend too much time here on the tight ends. I only had 2. I didn't put Hockenson in his stock up because he was already the best. So he performed as he should. Okay. Quarterbacks. Tyree Jackson. I mean, I didn't know who this. I've never seen this kid in my life until this weekend, and we met. He got on my radar because we met with him. And I went and looked at him. I'm like, man, this kid is 6'7", 249. I'm like, sheesh, this dude is. Numbers are crazy. And I just watched him in the drills, and he's got a cannon, man. He's got a good arm. He's a good athlete. He's got good production in college. I don't understand why people ain't really talking about him. You know what I'm saying? So, I like Tyree. I like him a lot. And shout out to Smitty. Smitty had to talk to him about slowing the ball down. He said he's on the gauntlet drill for the receivers. He was throwing the ball too hard, and Smitty had to pull him to the side and say, "You trying to make my receivers lose money?" Because he was throwing the ball too fast. They were dropping him. So he had to tell him to slow the ball down a little bit. But he was having fun out there. He's got a very similar personality to Cam. That kind of popped off the screen to me.
He's got a similar 40 time to Cam too.
Yeah, I don't. What? Yeah, 4'5". Yeah, 4'5'9" and 6'7" is crazy. Like that's crazy.
Size of a freaking linebacker.
It's crazy. He's good though. He's good. I like him. I like Tyree. He could be somebody that we could draft. I think his stock is raising a little bit. I don't think he's in the. Somebody's gonna take him. I think late. I think he could be a good pick for us. But moving on. All right, let's move on. Trace McSorley. This kid, they actually asked this dude to do cornerback drills, and he didn't do it. But there was a quote from somebody said the obvious after watching Trace McSorley today, he's not an NFL quarterback, and he should have taken the opportunity to try out or do cornerback drills. Okay, so that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying about Trace McSorley. I don't think he didn't look that great, and when you're getting asked to try out a cornerback, that's never a good scenario. So stock down. And I did not put Kyler Murray up here. Yes, he clocked in and weight, and his height was 5'10", but I mean, yeah, okay, you check the box, you're gonna be good. Let's talk about it when the pro day happens. But I'm not gonna talk about a guy that I mean, this is a Panther. Maybe if we needed a quarterback, I would have did it. But we don't need a quarterback, so I really didn't dive into Kyler Murray too much. But shout out to him for being tall, okay, for being 5'10". There's much bigger fish to fry for as far as the Panthers are concerned, so I didn't talk about it. All right, moving on. Brian Burns, my guy out of Florida State. Listen, I'm hard on this kid. Listen, I know a lot about Brian Burns, okay? Yes, I've seen him dominate games, but I've seen him fade in some games too. Okay, that's why I'm hard on him. I was kind of hard on him in my rankings, but this dude came out and performed very well at the combine. He performed very well. I mean, he's got his 40 time was crazy. I didn't expect him to be that fast. I knew he was fast, but I didn't expect him to be that fast. Broad jump vicious, 3-cone drill vicious. I think there was an interesting stat with there was, I think, a Next Gen Stats did something with him, and they said Burns is one of 3 edge rushers in the combine with a composite score over 90 when accounting for production, size, and combine measurables. Okay, and the other 2 are Nick Bosa and Montez Sweat. That's good company to be in. So I'm rolling with Brian Burns. Okay, and if he was a pick at 16, I would not be mad at this point. All right, he earned himself some money. He earned himself some money.
I'm afraid.
Afraid of what?
He went to NC State. I mean, he went to Florida State.
He went to Florida State. Oh, so you're saying he's gonna be Everett Brown? Is what you're saying?
I'm not saying. I didn't name names.
You didn't have to.
I I did not name names.
Yeah, he's my guy though. Burns is my guy. He dominated. He dominated some games in college, but others he kind of fell asleep. Um, all right. So that being said, he came in at a decent weight too. There was some concerns about his weight. I think there was some rumors he weighed like 220 something. So the 249 weight was good. Okay. I'm good with Burns at 16. I think I am good with Burns at 16. Depending on what's there, I think a couple of the offensive linemen will have to be gone. We will have to do a mock to see what happened, and I'll tell you if I take him there or not. The likelihood, though, we'll have to see. We'll have to see where I would go. Well, we'll have to see where I go. All right. So moving on, Dave. We gotta move on. All right.
Yeah, we gotta.
Jachai Polite. They said he bombed his interviews. Sources from a team says they're close to dropping him from their board. Another team said they're close to it. 3 teams say they're keeping him on their board. It's never good when people are dropping you from the board when you were considered one of the top pass rushers in the draft. He was top 5, and I don't know what happened. His 40
I know
time.
what happened.
What happened, Dave?
He didn't want to pay for them. He didn't want to play for them trash teams.
Maybe he bombed the interviews on purpose, but his 40 time was terrible. His 40 time was 4.84, not good. And then he did not participate. He proceeded not to participate in the bench press, the broad jump, the 3-cone, or 20-yard shuffle. So he just kind of packed it in, I guess. But he has decent film. I don't know what's going on with Jachai. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's got a pro day ahead of him though, so all is not lost for Jachai. But the interviews, he said people were trying to rag on him and whatnot. I don't know. I'm not in the interview room, but we'll see. We'll see. That 40 time ain't encouraging though. He gotta improve that. I like to see it, especially as small as he is, like stature. I'd like to see him move a little bit quicker than that. Because I think he's 6'2". But that being said, let's move on. Let's move on. I gotta move it on. Montez Sweat, okay, he had himself a day too. A lot of people weren't cool with Montez Sweat, but he stock up, okay. He ran the fastest 40 time ever for a defensive lineman at the combine.
Jesus.
He's fast, Dave. He's faster than Amari Cooper, faster than Odell Beckham, faster than Sammy Watkins, faster than AJ Green. Dave, maybe we should try him out at receiver, okay? Maybe we should put him at receiver. 6'5", 280, 6'5", 260. Man, I mean, look at his wingspan, 84 inches, crazy. I mean, his numbers are crazy. Okay, this is insane. Okay, insane. He earned himself a lot of money. Okay, just by showing a 4.41B is insane.
For a defensive end.
For a defensive end.
Dog.
He's out of here. He's out of here.
He ain't gonna be there at 16.
Nah, definitely not. He gonna be gone. If he is, I'd run to the podium, and we've interviewed him too.
He'll be the pick if he's there at 16.
Yo, he's gonna be gone by 16, but yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. He had himself a day. Okay, that's crazy. A 4.41 is wild. Okay, all right.
I actually saw this 4.4.
You saw it? I think I didn't see it. Yeah.
You're not supposed to be running that fast when you weigh that much.
Nah, he's quick. But you know what? I didn't see. When I watch this film, I don't see him use that speed. I didn't see 4.41 on his tape. So you have to compare. You got to go back and look at the film too. I didn't see it. I didn't see a 4.41 on his film. He had a lot of help inside with Simmons. So I don't know. I think people may hit the pause button slightly when you go back and look at the film. He wasn't dominant. He had some great games, but I didn't see what I watched. From what I watched, he wasn't dominant. He took over maybe. Let's put it this way, and maybe because I watch a lot more Florida State, and let's put it that way. I've seen Brian Burns dominate more games than I've seen Montez Sweat. That's just again, I have not seen every Mississippi State game, so y'all gotta help me out there. But yeah, how do you see 4.44? Yeah, you don't see that fast, but you would see a guy off the edge moving much quicker. I didn't see him running around a tackle. I just didn't see it. Maybe I don't know. He should be quicker off the edge. Maybe that's just my opinion. Could we trade up? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Would I trade up? Probably not. Probably not. All right. So let's move on. I don't want to spend too much time. Clelin Ferrell. Listen, I got him on stock down. I know some of y'all like, man, why you got this dude on stock down? Listen, he did everything average. He did everything just okay. And that's just why he's on stock down. I think there's a lot of guys that had better days. You got Burns, you got Montez Sweat, and you got Ben Banagu. There's some guys that put up some great numbers at defensive end, and I think Farrell just kind of chilled out, and maybe that was by design. Maybe he took a day off too, so he can get drafted by somebody better. Just look at his numbers. I mean, y'all saying he didn't run the 40, so I don't have a good gauge there. 6'4", his measurements came in good. He didn't participate in a lot. His tape is great. And listen, according to a lot of mocks, he's going to be there at 16. He's going to be there on 16. I'm not saying his tape was bad, but his combine numbers were just okay. I mean, the numbers don't lie, you know what I'm saying? But his tape is good. His tape is much better than Sweat's. I'll put it that way. His tape is much better than Sweat's. But again, his numbers were just average.
Some players, they might decide they don't want to do the combine and let that speak for himself. Is he going to do pro day?
He said pro. Yeah, he says pro. I think I saw a tweet where he said pro days were up next. But we'll see. He just had an okay day. I mean, when you got guys out here shining, you gotta kind of step it up a little bit. And I just thought he was okay. Stock down isn't necessarily bad. He just was okay. I expected a little bit more. Expectations, comparing him to himself. All right. Moving on. Linebackers. Devin White had himself a day. A lot of linebackers. Listen, a lot of linebackers are fast in this draft. There's a lot of fast linebackers. But Devin White, cream of the crop. Listen, I respect a lot of guys that, you have. You're expected to be the top guy, but then when you come out and prove it, that just says a lot to me. It just says a lot to me, and that's what Devin White did. His 4.42 is insane. Let me see. He's a monster. He's a monster. Okay. I mean, it's nothing.
If he's at 16, he's the pick.
I mean, yeah. If he's there at 16, I run to the daggone podium so fast. I don't think he'll be there, but
he might be.
Well, you never know, man. Crazier things have happened, but he proved it. There's not really else to say about Devin White. He's a monster. Okay, he's a monster. All right, moving on. Oops. Joe Giles Harris out of Duke. I had a little bit higher expectations for him. I don't think he performed that well. He came in. He with his agility drills, I thought he was going to do a bit better because he came in a little bit lighter than what we thought. But he just was okay. There was some talks of him going in the third round. I think he kind of performed himself out of that. But I thought Josh could have had a better day there. Just my opinion. I'm not gonna spend too much there. Devin Bush had himself a day. He kind of one of the biggest winners. I think I disrespected him a little bit. I haven't paid much attention to Devin Bush, to be honest with you. But he came in bigger than expected at 234, and he still ran a 4.43, which is crazy.
Second fastest time in the position.
Yeah, crazy. Okay, his game tape is vicious that I've got to see. That's what they're saying. His game is vicious, so I've got to watch the film for him. But he had a good day. Okay, the measurements were good, and he's showing elite potential from Twitter. That's what they're saying. Okay, all right. So that's all I got for Devin Bush. I haven't seen much film from him, so I gotta hold my thoughts there until I see some film on Devin Bush. I kind of disrespect him a little bit. All right. Moving on. Quinnen Williams Boy, did he have himself a day. Fam, I know his 40 was great, 4.83, but his 10-yard split, fam, 10-yard split, 1.69, which is insane. You want to know who else ran a 1.69, Dave?
Who?
Geno Atkins, 1.7. Sue, 1.74. Gerald McCoy, 1.74. Marcel Darius, 1.73. J.J. Watt, 1.71. Cam Jordan, 1.71. So you know what that means? This dude is explosive, fam. Explosive. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Quinnen is a monster, fam. Quinnen is a monster. I still wouldn't be surprised if this dude was first overall pick. He's that good. He's gonna be a problem in the league. I seen him. All right. I've witnessed this on tape. He's good. He's that good. Dominant. All right. So moving on. Again, another respect. Got to pay respects to a dude that comes in the top and stays at the top. He didn't do himself any harm by performing. He did a lot. He didn't do a couple of drills, but he did some work. But best player in the draft, in my opinion. All right. Moving on, his partner, his running pal, Isaiah Buggs, had a rough day. Okay, he had a rough day. His arm length was really bad. It was so bad, Dave. His arm length is in the 3 percentile for defensive tackles per mock draft table, and his wingspan is in the 0 percentile. Okay, the 0 percentile. His 40 times below average, but his athletic test ranged between the 5 and 12 percentile. It wasn't good for Buggs. It was not Bugs. It was not good for Buggs. Huh?
Doesn't sound like he's going to get drafted.
I mean, he went to Bama, so I think he's gonna get some slack cut for him. And there was some red flags regarding effort too. You put up 20 reps on the bench, being that big, it's crazy. All right, I gotta move on. Sorry, I know I'm kind of rushing through this. I apologize. We may do a second piece to this, so I can slow down, spend some more time on it. But Jerry Tillery, another day, another great day. His split too was excellent, 1.71. So everybody's ranting and raving over Quinnen's 1.69 split. This dude had 1.71 split, which is also equal to the likes of the other guys I mentioned prior. So he's a good athlete, and you could see him do some inside-outside stuff. So Tillery is solid. He had himself a good day. He had himself a really good day. All right. So moving on, Draymond Jones. He came in a bit undersized, and all the testing results range from the 23rd to the 52nd percentile. Shoot, my ear. Sorry. So this is a report from the Draft Network. I had to pull this from Draft Network. His lack of functional strength to anchor against the run was already a concern, and his athletic testing and at his size brings more questions to the table. So that's what they're saying about Draymond Jones. I really don't know. I haven't checked this film, so I don't know. I don't know about Draymond Jones, to be honest with you. I kind of got to roll with what the experts say about him because I really don't know much about him. All right? You know anything about him, Dave?
Nope.
All right. We'll have to dig back in.
I just know he's looking like he's scared, though.
I don't know who he's going up against, but he do look scared. All right.
He does look scared in that picture, yeah.
So moving on to the cornerbacks. Lonnie Johnson, stock up for Lonnie Johnson. I think he had himself a solid day today. It's funny because the Seahawks put him in a staring contest, 15 to 16 seconds, which he said he won. He don't know who he went against, but they had him go in the staring contest, Dave. Listen, nothing elite as far as the numbers go, but his size 6'2", time came in okay. I think he had himself a solid day. He had himself a solid day today, and we met with him, so he's on my radar. Okay, he's on my radar.
And he won a staring contest.
And you always get a stock up if you can win a staring contest. Okay, if you can win a staring contest, listen. I think at his pro day, watch for his 40 time. His pro day, I guarantee he gets it down to the 4.4 range. Guaranteed. Watch what happens. He's gonna get that 40 time down. All right. So moving on, Jawan. Man, I hope this dude's mom ain't watching. Man, shout out to Jawan's mom. Apologize, but I gotta get your boy stock down. Man, I was excited that when the measurements came in, I said this cat measured in at 6'3". I was like, dang, this dude, he actually measured properly. 211, decent hand size. He had a good day at the bench. Has put in solid bench press numbers, but then he ran. Okay, and he ran a 4.64. Red flag. And then he didn't participate in anything else. So I gotta get him a stock down, man. I gotta get him a stock down on that joint.
Hurt?
I don't know if he's hurt. Maybe he's hurt. I don't know. But if he is, I gotta roll with a stock down for him, okay? Gotta get him a stock down.
Well, I mean, he could shine at his pro day though. He could
get it down to the 4. I gotta see him get it down to at least the 4.5 for me to feel comfortable. In the 4.5 somewhere. For that 40. His 40 is slow. That's Josh Norman slow.
Yeah, and it worked out okay for him.
It did it really though? It worked out for him.
He got paid.
It worked out for him in the right system.
He got paid.
It worked out for him in the right system. I'll just leave it there. All right. Yeah. I'll leave it at that.
The shade is vicious.
Greedy had himself a great day as well. The size, the speed, he definitely gets a stock up. That 40 time was not what I expected. I did not think he was gonna be that fast. 4.37, and then he hung it up. Okay, you get respect from me when you run the 40, knock the 40 out, and then just hang everything up. Okay.
He didn't do the bench press, man.
Nah, he didn't. But he'll do it at the pro day. He'll do it at the pro day. But he ran that 4.37 and hung it up. But he came in at the right size. He's sick. If you measure round up, he's like an eighth of an inch from 6'2". So 6'2", 185. He had himself a good day from that 40. Just for that 40 alone. Okay. So shout out to Greedy for that. And a stock down, Montre Hardage. The reason why I have Montre Hardage here for stock down, he didn't perform. He only had 9 reps on the bench press. His 40 was slow, and the only reason why I got him up here is because we met with him. And please, Panthers, let's stay away from this guy, okay? Let's stay away from this guy. His poor speed and split explosion, not good, okay? Not good for Montre Hardage. That's why I need him to not be drafted by the Panthers, okay? All right. Moving on. But yeah, Blaze Brown too. I could have put Blaze Brown too. He had a terrible day. He had a terrible day too. Getting to these safeties, all right? These safeties. I know y'all been waiting for this one. I've been seeing it as soon as we logged on. Juan Thornhill had himself a day, and I shout out to the people again. I gotta give the props to the people. A lot of y'all been telling me to look at Juan, and I slept. Okay, I slept a little bit on Juan. I was too busy stuck on Taylor Rapp. I was stuck on my boy Jonathan Abram, and I didn't. I didn't. Yeah. Abram had himself a good day, and then but Juan Thornhill had himself the best day. Okay, he had himself the best day. He came in and ran that 4.42, and it was my eyes lit up. Okay, I'm like, all right. My eyes lit up, Dave. But he bench pressed 21 reps. I mean, broad jump 141. He can do it all, okay? He can do it all. I like Juan Thornhill. He's a good player. I did peep game a little bit of his film before I got to the show tonight. So I do like him. I do like Juan. The range is gonna be crazy with that speed, with that size and that broad jump. His range is gonna be vicious. He's got to have vicious range with that. I just hope it translates to the film. So moving on. Shout out to Juan though. Shout out to Juan. He gets a huge stock up. Next up, my boy Jonathan Abram lived up to the hype. When he ran that, he said he was going to beat Montez Sweat's 40 time. Didn't quite do it. Okay, he didn't quite do it. He said that Montez Sweat was slow. So he gonna knock his 40 out. He didn't. His first run was slow. Okay, his first run was like a 4.5. I'm like, all right, this dude is tripping. Okay, but then he came back. He false started twice. And then he got on the jump and then ran a 4.45. So shout out to Jonathan Abram. He's my guy. I think I'm raising him up for sure in my rankings as expected. It translates to his film. I'm telling you, this dude is a beast. And I was going to put the thing about him is I think he can play both ways. He can do free. I think he can play in the nickel, and he could play strong. He's that good. Okay, keep an eye on Jonathan Abram. I think he's gonna go high in the first round, or not high, excuse me, late in the first round is what I meant to say. So I don't think he'll be there by the second round pick. But if he's there in the second round, I'd take him. I'd take him in a heartbeat. All right. So I know I rushed through it. And we'll talk. I'll probably have next week. We'll probably do some sort of call-in session just to talk about guys. And I wanted to do guys that didn't quite that perform well, that are gonna get, they need to get more attention. I wanted to do that, but we just didn't have enough time. We probably should have started the show at 8:30. We don't got time. I
could have today, ironically enough.
Yeah, we don't got time for a mock today, man. I don't got time. I gotta.
We're not doing a mock.
So I know we rushed through this. I know we rushed through this, but I promise next week we're gonna do this again. We're gonna talk about it some more. There's some more guys I wanted to highlight. Like Ben Banagu is a guy I wanted to highlight because I felt like he tested very well. I think his name should be up there with your Sweats, with your Brian Burns, with the way he tested. Now I don't know if it translates to film, but he tested very well, and he should be mentioned with those names. But definitely want to talk about it some more. And I know I rushed it. Yes, exactly. Darnell Savage had himself a good day. There's lots of guys, man. There's lots of guys that had good days. Now I wish I could get to them all, but I just couldn't. And I had to rush through putting that PowerPoint together. So I apologize if this one's rushed. I really do. But I want to get out as much content as we could. So Dave, do you have anything else you wanted to hint or talk about?
Drafting mad defensive players in this draft.
There's a lot. I'm telling you, defensive side of the ball is loaded in this draft, and this is why I think you got to get one of them. You got to get one of them offensive tackles or offensive linemen first. That's what I'm thinking. But again, it's BPA. It really, I think first round is truly BPA. I really do. I think it'll come to us. I think it's gonna come to us. I
hope so. I'm gonna keep hitting my head about that week 17 game.
So what
it could have been. Could have had a better pick.
I mean, we could go there. I mean, we knew that though. We kind of knew that.
I know, but
I think we probably would have been in sweat range at 9 too. I think we could have been in sweat range for
you
sure.
Talking about Metcalf would have been top 10.
Yeah, we could have had
top 5.
We could have had a side, but listen, that's old news. It is what it is. That at this point we can't go back and change it. But I agree. It sucks. Okay, it sucks, but it is what it is at this point. We still gonna get somebody solid. Okay, we still gonna get somebody solid.
Make sure you guys like the video, man.
Yes, please do like it, man. Listen, please like this video. Everybody watching, please like this video. And I want to send a huge shout out again. I owe Jared a lot because the data that we put together would not have been possible without Jared. I wouldn't be able to bring you the red flags and the outstanding drills without Jared. Shout out to Jared, man. I owe you big time. Because it was actually his idea to do that. And so I want to give him credit. Shout out to Noli on the Proud segment, which we'll be updating every week as we go through these. We'll update the visits. We'll have a segment just for that. That's Noli's joint. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate especially my chat cats, man. Y'all my dudes. We go at it a lot, and I was real close because me and Noli so cool. I didn't put Nasir Adderley on stock down because I was gonna put him on stock down because he got hurt. He got hurt and didn't perform. I was gonna put him, but I didn't. I didn't just for you. I didn't just for you. All right.
You know who's not going to be on the prowl anymore?
Who?
Devin Funches.
Oh shoot.
He won't be on the prowl anymore.
Yeah, man. Shout out Devin Funches, looking for a job. Oh, and real quick. I gotta do this. Got housekeeping notes. If you want this signed Cam Newton helmet, please join the raffle. $10 entry. You can. I think the payment options are in the description box. That's still going on to support my Kilgore's mission trip. It's going extremely well. I'm raising a lot of money. I appreciate everybody that's entered so far. I'm pulling on the last day of March. So last day of March, or that show on Monday, I'll pull that day. So y'all go ahead and get y'all entries in. I appreciate all the support for my mission trip. So shout out to y'all on that. And other thing I wanted to say was, Dave, have you seen the Panthers' Instagram lately?
What happened?
No, nothing bad happened. Nothing. It's very interesting. They're posting clips of the jerseys, like little snippets of jersey, like there's gonna be some change to the jersey. That's what I'm seeing. Go to the Instagram. Y'all let me know what y'all think. They're just posting real small snippets of the jersey.
Let me go in and see.
I'm thinking new jerseys. They still look like the old ones though. That's why I'm like, I didn't want to jump out there and say that. But I'm thinking new jerseys.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
Is that what you saying? And then somebody posted in the comments and said black helmets, and the Panthers Instagram or Panther, whoever runs social media, responded with a thumbs up. So there could be some tweaks to the jerseys. Stay tuned.
They get a black helmet,
Tepper going to work.
Listen,
Tepper has given us all. Tepper has given us everything we wanted. The logo in the middle of the field. We've been screaming for black helmets for the longest. I think he's gonna give it to us. But listen, I'll say this: I'm jumping out there on the jersey change because they did look very similar to what we have. But I really do think the helmet might change.
I'm looking at this joint at the end, the last one.
Yeah, I think that's cleats. I did the same thing, Dave.
Those are cleats.
I think those are cleats. I did the same thing. Is that what you think too?
Yeah, man.
I can't tell either, bro. I can't see. Go to the Panthers Instagram, man.
I'm looking right now.
No, I'm telling everybody else. Go to the tea leaves. I'm thinking a black helmet. I really
saying
am.
those are cleats. That might be the helmet, man.
I'm thinking black. What if they put keep pounding down the? You think that's the helmet?
Dog.
Fam, I'm getting excited. Let me chill, man. So that means this even more. You need to get this vintage. This is gonna be a throwback. This could be a throwback helmet. Signed Cam Newton helmet. This could be a throwback. So everybody get y'all entries in because it could be a throwback at any moment. All right. So that's all I got, Dave. That's all I got.
All right.
Good show, man. Again, I apologize. I know it was rushed, man. I really do apologize. I wanted to put out the best content I could. But we'll come back next week and we're gonna have a combine part 2, and we'll get a mock draft in because there's some guys that I like that I didn't mention. There's some guys that I really like that I didn't mention. I think somebody said it. I think Paris Campbell. Man, I really like Paris Campbell. And I had him in there. I had him in there to stock up before Emanuel Hall, before I saw Emanuel Hall's numbers. And I had to put in Emanuel Hall because he tested right up there with DK. But Paris Campbell, Miles Boykin, those two dudes deserve some credit. And we'll get to all those guys next week. I promise, man. I promise. Trust me, I did my homework. I watched every little bit of the draft I could. I didn't watch today because I watched a little bit today while I was at work. But trust me, we're going to get to it all, man. Get to it all. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. And I was going to say meet me in the comments, but that's for my film sessions. But Dave, you got anything else, man?
I'm good.
All right, man. I'm going to end this, man. Thank you, guys. Larry stupid with the Boykin. Stupid, man. Peace out, yo.
Thank you for listening to the Panther Nation podcast hosted by Rashad and David. Please subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and our YouTube channel at Panther Nation Podcast. You can also like our Facebook page at Panther Nation Podcast. While you're at it, follow us on Twitter at Panther Nation PC. And always remember, keep pounding.
Keep pounding. Hey, Falcons Fury. Yeah, I appreciate that. I do like CGJ. I do like him. Yep, I appreciate it because you one of the first dudes who told me to go back and look at his 2017 tape because he played free there. So I do like him, though. I do like him. He's up there. But we'll talk about him next week. All right. Peace out.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.